So now I'd like to turn to a few moments to discuss the next award on our agenda. Well, motivated, I think, mostly by his own passion for translating basic clinical research into better care for patients, Dr. John Gallin, and his wife, Dr. Elaine Gallin, partnered with us at FNIH in 2018 to found and fund the Trailblazer Award for clinician scientists. We're, of course, very sad about losing Dr. Gallin as a friend and as a champion for the importance of clinical medicine and the scholars who are trained in both science as well as medicine. But we are blessed that his wife Elaine and daughter Alice are with us this evening. So an important jury award for us, the Trailblazer Prize, recognizes the critical role of early career physician scientists in translating basic science discoveries to the bedside. Since its inception, it's included people who were pioneers in the neuroimaging of neuropsychiatric disorders, in CAR-T immunotherapies, in cancer vaccine diagnosis of CNS infections, and many more. And by celebrating them and their contributions, we really hope to inspire future generations of scientists. But this year, our board chair, Dr. Steve Paul, agreed to lead our efforts to start the award endowment process with a generous investment of $1 million. So we thank others who have already joined him and hope to achieve full funding by the end of the year. Therefore, with the full support of the Gallin family, we will continue the annual award in perpetuity as the Paul-Gallin Trailblazer Prize for Physician Scientists. So please join me in expressing gratitude for these champions. Let me now introduce you to Dr. Paul, who will share with you a perspective on Dr. Gallin's many contributions as a longstanding leader of the Clinical Center, but also introduce our Trailblazer Prize awardee. Dr. Paul.
Thank you, Julie, for that generous introduction. It is a great pleasure and honor for me to help present the 2024 Paul-Gallin Trailblazer Prize for Physician Scientists to Dr. Vijay Sankaran. As many of you know, this award has been presented every year since its inception 6 years ago by John and Elaine Gallin. The Trailblazer Prize was in fact the brainchild of John and Elaine, and our plan was to have them present the award once again this year. Sadly, as we all know, John passed away several weeks ago after a heroic battle with multiple myeloma. I'm pleased, though, that Elaine and their daughter, Alice, are with us tonight, and Elaine will join me in just a few minutes to present this year's Trailblazer Prize. But first, a few words about John. John was the embodiment of the Trailblazer Prize, himself an incredibly accomplished physician scientist. He was the proverbial triple threat, an excellent researcher, clinician, and teacher, and in every sense of these words. And I might add a quadruple threat as a superb administrator, the NIH Clinical Center's director for 23 years. Under John's leadership, the NIH Clinical Center received the prestigious Lasker Bloomberg Public Service Award back in 2011. Now, John's own research is such an excellent example of what this prize is all about, starting with an important unsolved and vexing clinical problems. Sometimes we refer to these as experiments of nature. In his case, rare disorders of phagocytes, white blood cells which are critical for combating infections. These disorders include several forms of what is referred to as chronic granulomatous disease, rare disorders whose symptoms include life-threatening bacterial and fungal infections, where he and his lab over many years discovered their genetic basis and pathogenesis, and which led to interventions that have literally saved lives. At a gathering of John's NIH colleagues and former trainees held last year on the occasion of John's retirement, it was very poignant, heartwarming, and appropriate that one of the main speakers, was in fact a patient of John's, accompanied by her grateful family who is the beneficiary of John's life-saving research. We will remember John for his deep personal commitment to his patients, to the NIH, and for his many contributions to improving public health. He was also, I might add, just a wonderful human being. In addition to establishing the Trailblazer Prize with Elaine, John was also a member of the jury charged with selecting our prize winners. He and I often remarked on the substantial number of very impressive nominees we received every year. John was especially pleased with this year's winner, Dr. Vijay Sankaran, who himself has made seminal contributions to our understanding of human blood cell development in health and disease, including in sickle cell anemia and various forms of hematological cancers and blood disorders. Dr. Sankaran's pioneering and elegant work on BCL11A, a transcriptional repressor that regulates fetal hemoglobin levels, has provided a compelling and very novel strategy for treating sickle cell disease and thalassemia, using a combination of both gene editing and gene therapy. His work has led directly to a novel treatment for sickle cell disease involving CRISPR-mediated gene editing, which has become the first ever FDA-approved gene therapy. Dr. Sankaran has also studied rare genetic bone marrow disorders, those other experiments of nature to unravel fundamental biology related to hematopoietic stem cell development, again suggesting new approaches for treating these disorders involving these critical stem cells. We will learn more about his exciting and pioneering work in just a few minutes. Now, to present the winner of the 2024 Paul-Gallin Trailblazer Prize for Physician Scientists, I will ask Elaine to do the honors.
Thank you, Steve. It's an honor for John and me to fund the Trailblazer Award, but before I introduce the winner, I just want to thank the audience, Dr. Bertinelli and everybody else, for toasting my dear husband. I miss him dearly, but I'm glad my daughter is here to join me today. Recognizing the achievements of pioneering investigators has been deeply rewarding, and I'm honored to continue the work that my husband and I began 6 years ago. John's commitment to advancing medical research and improving the lives of his patients lives on in this award, and I'm grateful to be here tonight to help present this year's award to Dr. Vijay Sankaran. Dr. Sankaran, could you please come to the podium? The Foundation for the National Institutes of Health presents the 2024 Trailblazer Prize to Vijay Sankaran, MD, PhD, for his work to further our understanding of blood cell development and disorders. Dr. Sankaran, thank you for your work, and congratulations for your outstanding contributions. We look forward to hearing more about it later in the program.